Alright. I kind of plummeted rank again. But to be fair, I've been kind of playing in a not optimal way, is one way of putting it. So there's this strategy I was trying to do a few patches ago, which had to do with trying to get specific drops from an encounter. So a few patches ago, it was to try to get Bulldozer from Mod Squad on day 5. And that involved getting a bronze Chris Army knife, a bronze or silver crypto, and a bronze bomb squad, although I'm not sure if bomb squad dropped bronze back then. It may have. So then it left me with a 2/3 chance of getting a Bulldozer or First Aiden, and a 1/3 chance of getting charcoal. So this time, the strategy is to try to get Forklift or Crane on day 6 from the foreman. And this strategy involves looking for bronze Chris Army knife, bronze power sander, bronze or silver scrap, and a gold cog. If I get all 4 of those, I'm guaranteed to get either a crane or a forklift. Now, the gold cog is a stretch for sure, so that's not likely, but the other 3 are not too difficult, and I have several chances to get them. So I feel like this is it's not like it's not an impossible strategy, but it's definitely not going to be consistent. And you might also be thinking, well, why would you want forklift or crane? And I could argue very easily that crane is good, but forklift, that takes a little more explaining. And what it boils down to is forklift requires that you get the schematics item, and I'll explain that more if I end up finding schematics. But if I don't find schematics, then it's not going to be a consideration. Anyway, between these 3 cores, they're all red cores, so I'm going to play them the same exact way. But I prefer the core. Just I like charging items to the right of the core, even though it's rare that you'll be able to do so. Sometimes it makes sense. So I'm also still doing the strategy where I level up before the end of day 1. However, I do need to consider potentially not doing that. If I want to visit as many shops as possible to find bronze Chris Army knife and bronze power sander, I should be visiting the shops. But I think 6 days is enough to give me enough chances, even if I don't visit literally every shop that is offered. And I just have to find every opportunity that makes sense to take. So here, ideally, I would have wanted to go to the Haunted Kimono because that has a 2/3 chance of giving me a scrap. But since that's not offered, I'm just going to go to Banana Bowl because this is the only one that offers a potentially playable item, which is the duct tape. If I had chose weaponized core, then I could have went to the Kyber drone, and if I got the Fang, it's a 9-second cooldown lifesteal, slow 1. And a damage item, I forgot its base damage. I'm assuming it's like 5. If I got that with weaponized core, it's actually viable to put that to the right of the core on day 1. Maybe not like exceptionally good, but like if I don't find anything else, it's something to consider. But since I'm not weaponized core, I would not feel good about picking that option. So now I'm going for XP. Middle does not have any of the items I'm fishing for. Andy certainly does. Now in the meantime, I'm going to take as many active items as I can find. These are all great. Now, for based on the items I have, this is the positioning I'm going with, and what I need to, or potentially this, but I don't really feel too great about charging the 1-second freeze rather than using the freeze to charge the poison. I'm gonna take the plus 10 health. That was actually plus 20, wasn't it? Anyway, so now one thing that I learned, or not, I mean, I don't know if it's actually, learn implies it's like correct, but just one thing that happened is I had Copper Ed day 1 on a board that was identical or nearly identical to this, and I barely lost because I was offered poison skills, and instead I rolled and took a weapon damage skill, and then my opponent ended up having regen, so I had no damage scaling. So the regen was beating out my my weapon damage. But if I had taken the poison skill, I would have won that fight. So I think it might be viable day 1 to take the poison skill. In this case, 10 gold. I might actually pay 10 gold for a chance at winning day 1, right? So I'm rolling. And like I said,
you picked that up quickly.
Last time I regretted not taking the poison skill. Let's see if it makes a difference this time. So the worst case scenario against the Dooley is just they outscale. In this case, they do not. So if I had not taken the poison skill, the first Aiden would have fully canceled out the poison. With that being said, it looked like I probably would have won anyway. Maybe not. I mean, so the Copper Ed would be doing nothing. The Uzi would pretty much be doing nothing because Aiden would heal all of the Uzi's damage. The laser pistol also gets canceled out, I think. This would be 6, so like every 3 seconds Aiden heals, even less than 3 seconds. Whereas this is doing 10 damage every 4 seconds. So really I'm getting 20 damage in, but 10 is being healed. So I deal damage until I think... yeah, I probably do still win that. Because these this heal is less than the sum of the weapon damage I dealt. But Copper Ed, I think it was still worth, because like if my opponent was stronger, the Copper Ed would have made a difference when otherwise I would have lost. Okay, so now I have this skill which is now kind of useless, but it might help for PvEs in case I fail to find anything useful. Like this board right now should beat the Rogue Scrapper, so I technically don't need to visit any shops. I could just go for XP. And with that being said, JJ, early game is probably worth visiting since he has a cheap roll.
Profit 10. So,
I don't mind grabbing
about this
Aiden.
weather we're- Oh, you're leaving. That's good.
Because I have Aiden, Monitor Lizard is also worth the pickup, so I'm removing Copper Ed now.
Now, if that doesn't work out for you, come back for a refund.
So now my board will look like this. Since I'm broke, I'm going to Strange Mushroom, and I'm grabbing the gold because I need as much gold as I can get, even if it's only 2. I need as much as I can get if I want to be able to find the items I'm looking for. When I get to level 3 right now, I'm going to be offered a bronze item, bronze loot, or a bunch of random options that I think are tailored toward, or it might just be random actually. So I should be picking the loot one to try to get scrap, but I might also just get the scrap here. Now this unfortunately is still not really the right scrap, because this is the same tier as what would be dropped in the foreman fight. So this being gold does not cancel that other drop from happening. So I should still click this to try to get a bronze scrap, because that's the hardest one to find. And I got one. Hardest of the 3 that I would expect to realistically find, which are the scrap, the Chris Army knife, and the power sander. The cog is the one that's really difficult. So one task is done. Now I need to find Chris Army knife and power sander. Power sander is a non-weapon, so I can look for it in here, and it would actually not even be that bad. I wouldn't mind buffing the Uzi and the core and taking out the isocoric freezer. So I'll do that.
Reward the peaceful, punish the warful.
Would I purchase Chem Snail? Not really. I don't think I need it. I think my lizard will carry. Do I purchase a lizard upgrade? Absolutely.
But I'm glad you bought
This will pretty easily carry now, I believe. Okay, do I visit Midsworth? I only have 3 gold, so I won't be able to roll. I'd have to sell off my items to roll. It's not a good idea, right? So I'm just gonna go to the Lost Crate for XP and gold. And continue on to the day 2 fight. So I'm not really, so I at the beginning I've mentioned my plan on day 6, but I'm not really considering how I'm going to get there. And the reason for that is I don't really have much control over what happens. I kind of just have to take what's offered to me and just try to win up until that at day 6, and see if I'm able to pivot to whatever item drops. I may not even be able to pivot even if I succeed in finding all of the items I'm looking for in order to guarantee one of the 2 large items from the foreman. But it's a potential win condition rather than like visiting shops to look for a random item that has a low chance of happening. I feel like this type of strategy is the best odds at fishing for a win condition. Okay, so 3 of the items I want are tools, so pressing get a tool is valid here. That's not quite what I was looking for, but it's okay. It's 4 gold. None of my items are burned, so I'm not clicking that. So it's another visit to JJ. And he gives me a bronze power sander. So that's 2 items down. I can still roll for the Chris Army knife. Duct tape is better than the isocoric freezer. It's going to be used a little more frequently if I position it like this, or probably like this. I don't mind rolling because I could still find Chris Army knife. What do I think about this railgun? So it is a very long cooldown, and I don't have other rays. And it's expensive. For me to purchase it, I'd have to sell these 2 items, which I'm fine with. But I would probably have to bench the lizard and the laser pistol. But the lizard's good. Potentially better than this. So I don't think it's a good idea. But how about I purchase it and don't play it until I find rays? Is that a consideration? Well, I do think I would like to find at least an alpha ray. A beta ray is not going to happen. And a gamma ray could be played technically, because that ray would go to the right of the core. All of the rays would go to the right of the core if I can manage to do that. Besides the beta ray, but that one's gold, so it's not something I can look for. The omega ray, I'm probably not going to purchase. So the problem is I'm going to be at 0 gold. So it makes looking for the other items that I want more difficult. And I think at the moment I'm just not confident enough that this will improve my board right now, because it's going to make the lizard weaker. That's my main issue, so I'm not going to do it. Eccentric Etherite is a little bit scary because my base damage is low, so I am going to take some damage here. But I think my lizard will outpace them, so I should be fine. Okay, this is really bad actually, but I got there, but I maybe should have been a little more hesitant, because I could have put the power sander in to scale my damage and I would have been much more safe in that fight. Okay. So now I can put the power sander in like so. I don't mind putting the isocoric freezer in. And now I have to consider if I want to upgrade any of the bronze items on my board. The answer is no. I'm going for a bronze skill.
Some folks a lot older than me have lived a lot less.
This is fine. I know it's weird because the lizard is temporary, so getting another poison skill sounds like a bad idea, and it kind of is a bad idea, but it is probably also the only way I can win right now. So I don't really think I should complain about 2 poison skills that assist my main win condition right now. Okay. I have to remember this I need to keep, the power sander I need to keep. I'm gonna go to Andy, because I still need to find the Chris Army knife. And I would like the XP, but it's not like a guarantee it'll be worth. Like, I would like to try to level up to 5, but it's not a guarantee I'll see XP on the next day. So I'd rather just take the opportunity to go to a shop. Alpha Ray is excellent. These two, not so much. Power Sander upgrade. I think I'm not willing to take that. Let me check really quick. Because I forgot what tier is dropped at the Foreman. The Foreman has a silver power sander. So yeah, if I take this upgrade, it means that I'd have to find a power sander again to making it gold so that it cancels the drop, because making it the same tier as what the Foreman has will not cancel the drop. So this I cannot take. Would I take the Arc Blaster? Well, let's consider what I can remove from my board first. The Freezer's out for Alpha Ray. I want to keep my weapons. I want to keep Aiden. So it's either Power Sander or Duct Tape. I think it's the Power Sander that sits in the stash. And I put in the Arc Blaster and put it on the right of the core. Okay. Now, none of these are great. I want to make room for some chocolates because I think getting health is probably going to be my safest bet at winning. So I'm selling the power drill and I'm getting... If I buy the silver chocolate, I will be down to 1 gold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I sell all of these. Actually, I should sell this right now anyway. To make the duct tape a realistic safety, or a realistic, an item that actually provides a reasonable amount of shielding instead of just 5 shield, which is like not significant. So now that I've done that, I feel better about pressing silver chocolate, bringing me up to 600 or 700, no, 670 health. So what do I expect here? I'm expecting either weapons, which means my duct tape and Aiden should carry, or it'd be poison and shielding, which means my lizard will carry. In this case, it's slow scaling weapons with a seaweed, so my weapons will probably not work just because of the seaweed, but the lizard will work. It's just a matter of if my lizard beats their damage scaling. Okay, I overestimated the seaweed. My weapons did fine. I'm curious how significant the Arc Blaster was. I would assume the Uzi did the most. No, my cord did. Oh, actually, the Arc Blaster did do the most. That's just how it works with it being 40 base damage. Interesting. Okay. So I still need to find Chris' Army Knife. He's not a non-weapon. I could look here for the cog still. It's not likely I find it. But there's also potentially other items that can still improve my board right now. I know it's kind of weird because non-weapons and Alpha Ray being a significant win condition right now is anti-synergy. But I wouldn't mind replacing... Actually... Like, I don't want to replace Aiden, and I don't really feel great about replacing duct tape either. So what would I be replacing? It'd just be the laser pistol, and that doesn't feel great, so maybe I don't click this. So am I going for health again? I felt good about having 5 gold at the end of the previous day. I wasn't considering income at all, so I don't mind doing this again, going down to 5. I'll hold the chocolates for a moment. Maybe I'll find a reason not to sell them immediately. between all these, Creeping Chill might do something. I don't really like this, and this will not do anything at all. Until much later, maybe. Since the two large items I'm looking for are really slow, this could be significant. The forklift actually won't be slow, but that if I get the forklift as a functional build, then I shouldn't need the healing anyway. So, do I want to roll, or do I just take this freeze? The freeze will occur at 4 seconds.
That's good.
So, or maybe even a little bit earlier, probably like 4 seconds. So, I'm fine with that. This should be fine.
I think you had a breakthrough.
I'd rather not spend money rolling there. So now we're on day 4. JJ's much more random. I don't think I'm too interested in going there, so I'm gonna go for the risky option at the mountain pass. This duelist should be easy because his health is very low.
I have a diploma.
And I have shielding and healing to survive against his burst.
But I completed all the Dooley courses.
Powder Flask is excellent. That opens up Atomic Clock with the crane potentially, and it's also a tool, which is good for the forklifts potentially. Between these three, I'm just going for the Deadly Crooner, right? I mean, I'm still mostly interested in XP and gold. I know Boiler Room Brawler has a haste or energy potion, which hastes my board, but it's not consistent. And the other options, I know he also has a few tool related things, which does go along with my game plan later, potentially. Which again, potentially involves Forklift and Schematics, which is a tool synergy thing. Anyway, silver tier tool item could be a cog, so I have a high incentive to click this over the other two. That's not a cog, but that's okay. Should I go for Nufu over Quixel? I think so.
My lessons are painful. Are you prepared?
Defensive stance right now is actually not bad. I have a decent amount of weapons, so the shield from the Uzi will scale.
I care little for gold. Your enlightenment is my
Middle doesn't do much. Would I play Pulse Rifle here? I'd have to remove Arc Blaster and Laser Pistol, which is fine. So would I remove those two to play Tesla Coil? Yes, if it were silver, but not if it were bronze. Pulse Rifle would be playable at bronze. Am I going to take that gamble, go here, and roll, and then have to sell stuff for the silver Tesla Coil? I mean, it's acceptable. That is a line I'm willing to do. However, I know my board doesn't look great, but I think because of the defensive stance, I'm fine with this board still. I just need to survive and hope my lizard carries in case it's a shield spam. This is a Dooley. Dooley will either be burn or weapons. Not likely to be poison. So I get to actually put this duct tape to the test here. He's scaling a lot. So my lizard really has to turn up the poison right now. And he did. But yeah, this was that was a lot of damage on those items. I don't really know. I mean, this board it was a risk, so I really should have looked to improve it here. So it was very lucky that I did not lose that fight. So I will go to Andy because I still need to find Chris Army Knife. Metronome is excellent. The welding torch can go. I want the metronome. This is a does the damage change or is it just the charge? I think it's just the charge, right? Which is still fine. I'm gonna roll. Okay, I found LEDs. That's acceptable. Bomb squad. It doesn't really go along with the build I'm trying to get toward, so I shouldn't really take it. Oh, I didn't use the med kit. That would have made a big difference. Oh my goodness. That was really lucky then. For me to not lose that fight. Not lucky, but like, I mean, if I had lost that fight as close as it was, that med kit would have probably made a difference. Because assuming Aiden casts like 7 times, that's 140 health I would have gained back, which means I would have survived at least 1 more attack. Assuming I needed to. Okay, so Bomb Squad, if I buy this, in what world am I playing it? I could play it if I end up going for a Bulldozer build with Aiden and Monitor Lizard on my board. So that takes up 7 slots on my board. I need to fill 3 more slots. The core probably wouldn't be doing anything on that board, so I would need some other friends to put on the board in that situation. Which would probably be like Brick Buddy, and then I can't really think of what the last small item would be. Maybe not Brick Buddy. Not sure. Probably, I mean, I could do missiles, but it's not significant. So yeah, that board also would not even really be great without any haste. Like companion core would be the missing piece. So I'm not buying the bomb squad. That's the main takeaway from that thought process. Okay, JJ or press the tool button at the docks. I think I'd rather press the tool button. Quelly D's at bronze. I'm not likely to play. This needs to stay to the left. This is out. It's never coming back onto my board. So now I can grab this and probably end up selling it immediately. Definitely Trash Town Mare. Sabretooth. The Diamond Fang skill is bait just because it's not realistic to get Diamond tier small items. So I'm going for the Mare. The reason why it's not realistic to get Diamond tier small items is small items are usually just filler on your board. Or like support items for your win condition in this patch. Like my whole board is support for Monitor Lizard. It's just well, that's not really true, is it? I mean, it's just Aiden is support for Monitor Lizard. Uzi and Duct Tape are combined with Aiden are just there to give me shielding to survive. And then the other weapons are just an alternative win condition. So it's not like all support for the Lizard. But like if I had a perfect board that was fully supporting the lizard, then I'd be a full-blown lizard build and committing to that, I imagine. Okay, so would I commit to powder flask here? Do I have a reason to? Not really. I wouldn't upgrade an item that I don't have on my board, and reloading the Uzi doesn't make sense. Would I like to upgrade Alpha Ray or Monitor Lizard? I think between the two right now, I'd prefer Monitor Lizard, so I'll do it. Okay, Orion is excellent. Please give me a cog. And a Chris Army knife? You gave me both of what I wanted. That's amazing. Okay. Do I use the sharpening... I mean, actually, I don't need to consider selling the sharpening stone right now. I'm going to sell the power tool. Power drill instead. Just grab these two. And I'll leave. I could have rolled and potentially seen forklift or crane there with very low chance, but it's not worth. So these are the 4 items. I still need to upgrade cog, so I'm not yet like out of the water. I'm still not guaranteed to get the 2 items I want. If I had delayed my level, I could have upgraded the cog to truly guarantee the upgrade, the item drops, but it's okay. I will go to Sylvia, because I don't mind looking for the cog or Alpha Ray or Tesla coil. Micro Dave could be an angle. This goggles is not out. The bronze LEDs are out, actually. I probably spent gold on it to get it, but I'm not going to play it at bronze. So now I have Dave and Bomb Squad. Let's see what my board would look like with this. So, also I should play the metronome for sure. Actually, let's see what... So like I could do this. This is probably acceptable, and I still don't want the Bomb Squad then. This is much more hastes. So my lizard will scale significantly more. I should still use the stone. I think I'll use it on the Uzi. So I lost a little bit of damage, a little bit of weapon damage by removing the laser pistol. I hopefully recuperated it by putting the sharpening stone on the Uzi. I upgraded my lizard and got a metronome, so my damage should be improved. I was weak on the previous day, but still managed to win. I also was missing a heal on Aiden, so I got decent upgrades. So I don't feel great here, but I think it's okay. Like my opponent's name. I think I'll be okay here. Gold Dave and Gold Bomb Squad is scary. So duct tape, try your best. I don't have a chance though. The Gold Dave is too strong. Like this probably casts like 12 times. Yeah. It's too powerful, but that's okay. I didn't like I don't think the Silver Dave would have helped me win here. But I did, to be fair, I mean, not to be fair, but I did not consider the outcome fully. I kind of just like rushed it there. So if I pivoted to this, so these items would be on the board, I'd probably still keep the core on. Maybe duct tape was out. I do something like this, or maybe just something like this to use as many small items as possible. So I'm kind of like ignoring the scaling, so I could also get rid of the alpha ray. No, alpha ray is important. But yeah, this doesn't even feel any better, really. Like, I don't think Silver Dave is powerful enough to compete with that enemy board. Anyway, I'm at 12 gold. Barkin has a 4-cost roll. I don't really want to visit there because today's the day that I would be finding one of the 2 items, ideally. This is not the shop I want in order to find the cog upgrade. I could look for the schematics here, but it's a gold item, so it's not likely. And it will be expensive for me to get right now. I have some items to sell, but not a lot. So I don't feel great. I'm gonna just press get an item instead. Quixel is a little better because it actually does offer some items that I could use. I know there was a gamma ray there, but the gamma ray was only a consideration if I did take the railgun.
Midsworth says I'm bad at this, but I just want the huge things.
Okay, we got the foreman. Am I really gonna skip Infernal for the foreman? I believe I am. So one of these 3 items is going to drop because I've blocked these 3 from dropping. I would very much like the forklift, but if I get the forklift, I'm still not playing it, so... Okay. So now I just need to find... So I don't need to... I don't need to hold the scrap anymore. I'm still going to hold some tools, because part of the build does involve using tools if I get the schematics. And that's the remaining objective now, is survive every day while looking for schematics. My best chance at surviving right now is to get a haste skill.
Actually, I'm human. The third eye? Long story.
That heavy machinery is perfect.
Around the distance.
Heavy machinery is a significant enough power spike that... Ooh, do I play goggles? No, it's too... It's not going to scale enough crit in time. But I'm going to go here. Ooh. Does this guy... This has only the powder keg. Which also has potential. I could hold it in my stash and see if I get a Radiant enchantment. And Radiant powder keg is the build I did last time. Which was like over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. This is playable, is it though? Not really. The laser pistol's out because this is better. Dooley's workshop or Ayla? Dooley's workshop would allow me to get a diamond lizard. I think that's acceptable. Especially against a Vanessa. I could consider putting the cog in for 1 more haste. But I don't know. Is that necessary? I mean, like, I could do this and this to get as many hastes as possible. I think this can work. My opponent is also pretty weak, looking at their prestige and wins. So this is probably an easy fight. That is a lot of poison. One thing to consider is, since I'm hasting the Uzi runs out of ammo. Maybe I should haste Aiden instead. I mean, hasting Aiden does sound good too. It means it's probably more haste activations. The only reason to click this would be for ammo in case I use atomic clock. I don't mind that. The feather is also good. This isn't a tool, so long term I'm not going to use it. So now I really have to start fishing for the schematics every chance I get. It's a non-weapon, so I can go there. I could go here to look for heavy machinery upgrade though. It's a 1 out of 5 chance, and none of the other skills are worth clicking, so I am actually skipping that to just go to Kina. This is acceptable. Weak point detector is too big to use in the build I have in mind. I'm not changing anything else on my board. I'm just looking for schematics.
Send me your huge items. Price? Don't care.
None of those are tools either. 2 more rays. Do I think Beta Ray is better than the duct tape? It's slower, isn't it? Unless I consider that the remote control charges it as well, but I don't think so. I don't think it fits what I want right now. Thug has higher value than Shock Trooper, so this is what we're going to pick. Okay, I need 2 spaces. The goggles are a tool, actually. I shouldn't sell that yet. So Arc Blaster and Alpha Ray are out. I'm not going to sell this yet. I don't mind using it on the duct tape, but I don't need to sell it yet. I'm going to go to JJ.
Bazaar's a crazy place, right?
This is
Happy to make a
decent.
sale. Sad to say goodbye.
This technically does something because of duct tape, and maybe I get a heavy enchant. I'm going to sell this now.
Do you have to leave already?
Okay, nothing else is worth purchasing. Middle has the best chance at finding schematics, so I'm gonna go in. That's a ballista, and I do have an okay setup for ballista, so I could use ballista in the meantime and be kind of cringe. I have to sell 1 item. I guess the goggles can go, unless I want to get rid of Hamlet instead, but goggles are worse than Hamlet. So I'll buy this for now. I might end up selling it.
But people thought it was weird.
Nothing else is worth there. Okay. So what did I say I wanted the Radiant on? It was the keg. So the next option is the haste, which would probably go on the core right now. And this certainly means I'm putting Ballista in. So the remote control is out alongside the duct tape. And the positioning is going to be like this. Now I'll use the feather. And let's win this, because I now have a pretty fast board, since Ballista is kind of an absurd item. They also have a pretty fast board, but they have 700 less health than me. Interesting. So, based off of the amount they shielded and their total health, the lizard did nothing in that fight. It was entirely Ballista. Because their health plus the shielding is still less than the Ballista damage. So I could get rid of this lizard. But there's still a potential that I face shield opponents, which the Ballista probably still outpaces, but in case I don't, the lizard might get there. Okay, Kina versus Hattie. I have to go Hattie. It'd be silly not to press this. This is just an enchanted item, isn't it? Ooh, diamond tier loot. That is not bad. I have to do them one at a time. 3 XP is fantastic. Pelt is perfectly fine. And crit, I'm not sure what I want to put on. I'll visit JJ.
Come on in. Let's chat.
I could consider getting missiles, but it's not a tool, so it's not happening. Is there anything more I could do to try to find the schematics? Not really. Infernal Frygate, I prefer clicking now over Wandering Shoal because I like the trebuchet. Okay, well that's probably the worst thing I could have gotten. So I have all these tools. I think the tool I'm least likely to use is the remote control now. Unless I get rid of the lizard here, but I don't want to do that yet. So remote control is out. I still have to get rid of... no, all of these tools are acceptable. I guess the powder flask is not significant. I could just use the Eagle Talisman now. Probably would have been smart too. Actually, no, that was a PvE. I would not have had to use it. I think Hamlet is the least likely to be useful, just because of its long cooldown. So I'm selling it to grab that to sell this, because there's no chance I'm using the rocket launcher. What do I think of these skill trainers? The shielding is not going to happen unless I get a shield enchantment, which is not likely. Freeze is not as good, but still good. But since I'm using the core right now, I should really just go for Dooley skills.
C4's scary. You're the only one that's nice.
Okay, I'm kind of regretting that. I should have not gone here, because these are useless. Which is the least useless? This does do something technically, whereas these two will not do anything. So I'll pick the skill that does something, I suppose.
Wanna see?
Okay, Pearl's dig site. This is
You look like a hard
a
one.
chance at
Need some work.
finding the schematics. I see cool LEDs. I'm not using my core that much, so the freeze isn't real. So do I think a silver LEDs is worth? Not really. I know scrap metal is 8 gold. Opens up reducing my core cooldown by 1, but it's not good enough. This is 12 gold. And then imagine if I get an aquatic item. No, I'm not gonna get an aquatic item. I'll do one more roll. Well, this gives me some money back.
That belongs in a museum, but I guess you can keep it.
I put it on the eagle talisman. I could look for diamond schematics here, or I could just go to Bazaar Con. I think I have to take every chance I can get at finding the item, so there it is. Does he pay extra for diamond? Oh no, this just got increased by 3, that's all. So now I can put this on the forklift, and we're playing the forklift. The ballista does not go on my board. The forklift's gonna have low damage though, unless I get this to diamond, which I might have to wait until level 13 to do. So maybe I don't play it yet. Not sure. I'm keeping... I guess lizard should go. Or what is necessary for me to sell? It's just a lizard, right? It was like subpar anyway.
You'll walk out a stylish nobody.
So yeah, this is only dealing 600 damage. It's being used a lot, but it's only 600 damage. So it's not amazing. So I don't think I make this pivot yet. Well, yeah, I don't do it yet. I have to wait till level 13 to make it diamond first. But now we have to reevaluate the board a little bit. So I still need ballista on this side. I still need the metronome with Aiden. Need Uzi on the board. Now I have 2 more spaces to fill in since I sold Lizard. It can be filled in by low cooldown stuff, which is going to be powder flask on Uzi and then duct tape here. An alternative is if I wanted to potentially haste Uzi powder flask like on this side, then play down an item. Seems really weak, but Is it really that weak? This might actually... It seems dumb, but I think this is fine. I'm sending it like this. So I'd argue it's better like this because the haste from the core... okay, he's not infinite, is he? He's close to infinite, so I'm in trouble. Gosh, it was close.
You move in straight lines.
I don't think the duct tape makes a difference. I don't know. That felt bad that they were infinite, but it's okay. So, I'm going here again.
Imagine the wonders waiting for us in the ground.
This is an aquatic item, so I could have taken that other one, but it's not a good aquatic item. This is a tool. Sure.
That looks like
A 4-second cooldown
Cretaceous
tool is acceptable. Although the other items have their cooldowns reduced a little bit. I can look for atomic clock, so I'll roll. See if I find it.
You leave it behind, someone else finds it. It all works out.
Oh, I'm not buffing an item. I don't even know what, because like there's not much. I guess I'm not playing the Chris Army knife, am I? I think I am. I think I'm putting all. Am I putting all the tools on the board? I already forgot. I did get an extra tool, so if I'm selling anything, it's Chris Army knife. Unless I get soldering gun, then that would feel bad. And I do want soldering gun because it's the lowest effective cooldown tool, other than atomic clock. So I can't skip this. It's 8 gold. So then I'm just selling the rewards card. I'm not that starved for money, right? So it's fine. Neither of the builds I'm going for involve a single item, so going to Pharaoh's Con is not a good idea. Technically, I guess I could try to go no item. It just means I don't put Chris Army Knife on the board. So if I get mixed messages, that could be an angle. Although, I mean, mixed messages, I mean, it's okay to have non-weapons. I mean, to have weapons on the board with mixed messages, because unless I'm using ballista. Okay, I'm skipping health. I still want to find
with no weapons,
an atomic clock,
leave with
potentially.
big bargains. I feel like you're not being fully present. with
Oh,
me.
perfect. Okay, XP allows me to at least try the pivot. Okay, so I don't have the soldering gun, so Chris doesn't actually go in. It's going to be cog here to sometimes haste forklift. This is fine. 4-second cooldown. Tape is a little long, but I don't have anything faster. It's effectively 4-second cooldown since its adjacent items are both 4 seconds, so this is what the build would be. 70% crit. So let's see. Every single tool is charging the forklift for 2. Is anything heavy on this board? No. Oof, it was close. So I'm so curious, was there a fourth attack that just barely didn't go off or what? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fourth attack didn't go off. So if that fourth attack was a crit, which was likely, that really should have been a draw. It feels bad, but what can you do?
Is a solid gem, flecked with glittering
Can't give slow to this, so the slow is gonna go on to Forklift since this is my fastest item technically. I feel so bad to lose that fight. So if I had taken Relax, I was fine. But I mean, I guess this board isn't bad, so I don't really need to look for Atomic Clock or Soldering Gun, although I would like it. I definitely like it. So I'm gonna do it.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
Because why should I not look for an item that I would like to have?
Maybe I'm not cut out for
Ultimately,
business.
well, the reason is that if I want to win, I shouldn't, right?
Discounts for peace.
I should be like min-maxing
That
every
decision
opportunity.
comes from a negative place.
Min-maxing at every opportunity. I can't fish for Juggler. I'd rather go here. Like, the battery would actually be decent.
Your pitiful appearance was a trick.
Clamera... Clamera could be used, actually, if I, kept Hamlet, and if this were Diamond. Or if just Hamlet were Diamond. So if I find a Diamond Hamlet, I can get Clamera, and it'll, use Hamlet immediately to charge this immediately, which will only be 1 charge, so it's not really that great, huh? Unless there was a way to... Nah, I mean, I'm not gonna sell it. The thing I'd sell first is probably... I'm selling the Ballista. I don't wanna go back to the Ballista. I'd rather lose. It's the last day, it's the last game I'm gonna play before the patch, so... I'd very much prefer Diamond tier skills. I don't have a core, so these two are useless. I don't have any poison items, so that's useless. Retooled is interesting.
I doubted a non-Sphinxian could learn that. Impressive.
So now one thing I can consider is, or I should consider, looking hard for the Diamond Hamlet or any Atomic Clock, and I'll do it.
My battle days are over, but my weapons crave more.
Flamethrower is an angle, but I've been there,
Bazaar is
done
not
that.
kind to the
Current build
weapons.
is cooler. Right middle. Please show me the Atomic Clock.
I want what's right for you.
No? It's okay.
See that mountain? That's Pole. He might have what you need.
So... like, I could do this to perma-haste another item like this. Alternatively, I can put this between... No, we want the multicast on this. So... I'm just deciding what's the most valuable multicast. It's gotta be on the haste, right? Let's try it. The reason it's most valuable on the haste is that it's bringing the adjacent item to 2-second effective cooldown. Ooh, Chrono Barrier is rough. I need to smash through his shields fast, but I'm not going to be able to, am I? Is this? I'm getting there. It's okay. I got there. Right? As long as he doesn't attack. Oh, he attacked, but yeah. Interesting. How much damage did I end up dealing? It was probably not much. 11,000. Okay, that was a lot. He just shielded a ton. Oh, okay, so I mean, Gearnola, if he had more ammo in his Gearnola, maybe he wins that. I don't know. I'm not going to play it again, but I really didn't think I was winning that. Okay. I need soldering gun or diamond hamlet from here.
Ugh, window shoppers.
Okay, atomic clock, soldering gun, hamlet. Hamlet wouldn't appear here though.
You're not ready to accept the light. And that's okay.
I don't need gold. Another power sander? I mean, it's technically an upgrade, so why not? Is this the guy? No, I'm going here for the juggler. The chance at juggler, but that alchemist, does he have the, what's it called? Weather glass? Okay. Diamond Hamlet could be at Tinker. Not really interested in skill upgrades.
Every factory and junkyard will liberate every robot.
Nope.
Greetings.
Okay. I could level up to upgrade something, but there's no significant upgrade. I could do cog and no. Yeah, the level up would be for upgrade and health. I could go for the 3 small items, but I'd rather take my chances at JJ. Honestly, this Hamlet is fine.
Now, if that doesn't work out for you, come back.
Yes. Okay, atomic clock. Let's go. I'm not okay. So it's not. It's not going to be a retooled atomic clock. I need more space.
I get it. You're busy. Enjoy your purchase.
So I need to do this. I also want Hamlet. And this is probably fine, unless I want to do Clamera as well to charge Hamlet. Honestly, yeah, this is acceptable, I think. But does the Clamera matter? Maybe I do it like this. think this makes the most sense. Let's try it.
I should warn you.
So now every second I'm charging the forklift for 2. Oh no, is this infinite? He has so much health, I'm in trouble. And he's healing. Yeah, I mean...
Let this get you down.
So, what do I think? I mean, he had permaslow. Because it was a heavy proboscis. So, this did... Okay, I actually attacked 8 times, but he was just healing all the damage. So realistically, how... Like, I can't win this. Because the forklift isn't scaling at all. So that's kind of disappointing, but it's alright. It's just, so, like, the problem is this... I feel like this item... Like, this is a sick build, right? I hit a bunch of cool pieces. But, like, it doesn't work when I feel like this whole setup should be a game-winning setup, right? So this item's still not strong enough, even in its like pretty much best case scenario. Like the only improvement I had a build earlier today. This is what like introduced me to trying to force forklift, is when I got the build earlier. I got a rivet gun as well. So the forklift was able to charge a soldering gun. It wasn't quite infinite, but if I had the rivet gun charging the atomic clock off of the forklift, it probably still wouldn't be infinite. If this were an atomic clock that had a ton of ammo alongside a rivet gun, and that this had multicast because of retooled, like at that point it could be infinite. I don't know, but I mean, it's still a lot of damage. I guess it ultimately like should. So the I guess what I'm hoping to expect from the patch later today is if I look at my build versus my opponent's build right now, my opponent, all they had to do was heavy enchant proboscis, and then they had an infinite build. Then they hit knife tricks. Not knife tricks, sorry, this one. This to give it lifesteal, which just made it so that I can never kill them. They got scaling off of Pig's Gym, but like was that really significant? I could watch again. I feel like the cloak was probably more significant than the Pig's Gym. But they do have Juggler to activate the Pig's Gym. So let's see how much scaling there actually is. Okay, it is relevant. It's going up by like... I think like 60. I also had permaslow, but it's just there's no way to interrupt the proboscis infinite. So yeah, it really is just the proboscis infinite is much easier to get, and yet his build is so much stronger than what I have, which was much more difficult to get. If I had Juggler, would I have been able to compete? Probably not. Like, this didn't do much. It only went off 3 times anyway. And I'm not trying to, like, say anything about, like, oh, Pig is broken. It's just, like, I'm expecting these charge items to be way less powerful because it seems silly to have this much power for that little effort. Anyway, okay, moving on. That because I've been repeating myself at this point. So 7 win with the forklifts. I could have had 8 win if I didn't mess up one of the ballista fights. Maybe 9 because I probably messed up. I think I messed up earlier too. Actually, I don't know. I think I won the first 5 days, didn't I? So I didn't mess up early. I messed up one fight, and then I lost to the micro Dave. So I lost in the micro Dave. I lost a fight I shouldn't have lost. I lost that third one. That was my 4th loss, right? Or was it my 5th? I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping. So I'm not sure what other items will be changed from what I had on my board there. Like, there wasn't like most of the small items, the tools were like replaceable. It could be just any low cooldown tool. It's just the schematics and forklift were the key things. So would I expect those to be changed? Probably not. They haven't really changed. They don't really change items that don't see play unless they buff them. So could I see a forklift buff? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't expect it. Like, they left kinetic cannon and forklift alone for so long. It's possible that they think, like, oh, there is a build and this just hasn't been found. Like, I only just, I mean, I guess, like, I haven't seen, I don't know if anyone's tried out the forklift schematics combo. It's surprisingly decent since schematics does give it 50% crit right off the bat. So the other thing was atomic clock. I doubt atomic clock's being changed. And also the powder flask, I mean, that was a lucky thing to get. But yeah, so I would love to be able to try to continue to force this after the patch. I'm just very curious if it could potentially be viable when the other charging stuff is weaker. If it's made weaker, hopefully. So yeah, that's the gist of that. It is I am happy with how this turned out, even though it wasn't a 10 win. Because it did go according to plan. So yeah, cool run.